Approximately 6:06 this evening, the Town of Batavia Fire Department was dispatched to a automatic alarm at the industrial complex behind me. Upon arrival, they had heavy smoke out of a section of the building that's about 200 feet long by 50 foot wide. It's a mostly hydrocarbon grease manufacturing company, so they take barrels of hydrocarbons and have contracts to produce large amounts of grease for a number of contracts that they have. The main body of the building here was about 150 feet by 50 feet, 2 stories in height. Because of the fact that it's not a sprinkler building, there's no sprinklers within the building, and based on the product that's in the building, the fire department's always very concerned about the hazards that that amount of hydrocarbon can offer to the firefighting efforts. Town of Batavia crews and City of Batavia crews made entry on the first floor of side A of the building. Made entry in, found heavy fire directly into the right. They were able to knock down the majority of that fire, but a number of the barrels holding petroleum products were starting to expand and release their product into the air. So at that time, firefighters felt it wasn't safe. They had the main body of the fire knocked down, and it was time for them to back out and to start to create a better plan of ventilating and then searching for other areas of where there may be fire. It's too soon right now to tell where it is. The fire was knocked down and the building was made safe, but we've got such an impact internally with the amount of oil that's on the floor in the building. And then our second concern obviously was the environment. So the DEC was called in, but the company here, Summit Lubricants, have done a really good job of containing any of the runoff from an event like this to their on-site property. So the water departments and sewer departments from both Town of Batavia and City of Batavia were contacted to be here to ensure the integrity of their sewer system and of the groundwater and make sure that there was nothing leaving their property. I think it was just an automatic alarm. I believe all the employees had left for the evening. So it was an automatic alarm, probably a smoke head that went off of some type of event that occurred in the building. And that was automatically dispatched to our 911 center and then dispatched to the fire department. Not at this point. I mean, there was a lot of residual smoke of those petroleum products, so obviously petroleum product byproducts are nothing you want to breathe, but there was not a lot of heavy contaminant leaving the property, mostly contained in the building with a very light amount of smoke exiting the building. So our concern now is turned to the firefighters and their health and safety, and making sure that their gear and they're cleaned off and made safe as well. Typically an engine crew is 4 firefighters and an officer, so I would say anywhere between 8 and 10 made the initial push into the building with a large hand line. So it's a 2.5-inch large flow hand line, which is customary for industrial complexes, any fire within an industrial complex such as this. Again, they used that to knock down the main body of the fire, then brought in a smaller line that was easier to maneuver within the building and continue the extinguishment. Well, there's smoke throughout the entire complex and heat damage throughout a large majority of the complex. We're now metering the inside of the building to make sure it's safe before we go in and start doing an evaluation of the amount of damage, and as well as the amount of hydrocarbon or amount of petroleum product that's on the ground. We've got to make sure that we have the right PPE on for people to walk in there.